Welcome back, everyone. I hope you have enjoyed the first two parts, and even you are curious to know why masters after 9 years of experience. I mean, with a 9 years of experience, getting on site and having a good career, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Why?
Absolutely.
Not now.
Career.
Let's wait.
Yeah.
So, main purpose of this video over here is, I'll be honest, even I was confused after 4 years. Should I do masters? Should I switch job or continue with the current job? I was in a big dilemma when I was applying for my
Yeah.
master's program. And I have many friends who have the same question even after 4 years of experience. So let's get to hear what it feels like after 10 years of experience and thinking that can I study back or can I not? So this is the perfect video if you're confused, and if you want to show it to your parents, do that definitely. So without wasting our time, we have Jayati back with us. So yeah, before we go to why masters, tell us something about your profile which we missed in the previous videos.
Right. Yeah. So I started my professional career as as a software developer. So I have initially I worked on like Elasticsearch, if you know. Sorry.
Yeah, AWS service.
Yeah, no, not exactly that, but it's like just like a data indexing kind of thing. Yeah, then I worked in the front end, HTML, CSS, React, and all those things. Yeah, but then I had mostly worked in Java.
Okay.
Java development. Recently, I was working on the software design as well. I was working as an architect in the last firm where
What was the last role?
Yeah, so I was a senior software developer, but then underlying I was a DevOps engineer role as well. So I was a DevOps engineer, a software developer, a software designer, and also
do we have anything left which you have not worked as?
No, yeah. So like if you talk in terms of software development, I have covered pretty much things. So like I was a full stack developer, so like end to end, yeah.
Yeah, but mainly I want to understand what if you want to share what is the GRE TOEFL and how the application process like. What was the score if you can share with the audience?
Yeah, I did not score very good, but like I scored 315 in GRE.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah, and and 104 in TOEFL.
Okay.
Yeah, so with that I applied in 6-7 colleges.
Which
yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, so I actually applied for spring, so there were not much options available for spring, to be honest.
Okay.
So I applied in, of course, University of Southern California, and then I applied on Northwestern University of Boston.
Okay.
I applied for UMass, University of Massachusetts Amherst, Virginia Tech, Arizona State University, Stony Brook, and that's all. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I got into all of them. I did not retain the same, even one project, so like I got into everything.
Why did you select USC then?
Yeah,
tough decision or easy decision?
Very tough decision. I was actually mostly confused between University of UMass and USC. Yeah, the reason being that I wanted to pursue masters in the computer vision, the field of machine learning, and then the University of Massachusetts have like really good reputation in that field.
Okay.
And the fees is also quite less as compared to USC. Okay. But still I chose USC. The reason was basically the location. It does matter definitely because there are so many startups are here in this area, and then University of Massachusetts, the seniors over there at UMass, I spoke to them, and they do mention that it is a bit difficult to get internship. You know, as compared to a USC, it's not like they don't get it, but it is a bit difficult because it's like in really it's a small town, just a university town.
Okay.
So considering all those things, I just then decided to.
It was location, then coursework, if I'm not wrong, in your priority.
Yes, so computer vision. So like I will name Professor Ram Nevatia. He is a professor who is working in computer vision field for like last 20 years. He has some algorithms named. For computer vision against him, and then he has he have been cited hugely.
Wow.
So he is a rock star in computer vision. So
and how did you do your research? A small minute or so, if you can tell us.
Yeah. So then basically, how did I do it? So there are at any university, I think they divide it as per the specialization area.
Okay.
So I knew that I want to pursue a master's in computer vision. So I looked for the labs here. And then if you go to the labs, there is a page at USC, we can share that with you. Okay. So they have a list of all the labs here, and then if you go to the links, so they have a very properly managed links like websites. You can see what I did. I went to the people area of that, and I saw who all are working there. So I read about professors there, then I googled, they have like citations and everything. Then I connected with PhD students first.
Okay.
So I saw who all are there, and then I looked them up on LinkedIn. I connected over LinkedIn, and then I was in constant touch with them to understand that, you know,
what is
me being a software developer background with no background of computer vision, and you know, if I have to move into this role, then basically how should I plan it? So planning your masters, I think, is very important because people mostly are confused. You know, so if you can do that.
I have a question. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it is relevant for the audience, but now I am curious. So just for my curiosity, why computer vision? And what was that one moment, either in your career or something which drove your interest to computer vision? I'll give you a small background.
Yeah.
I had this subject in my undergrad, but I don't know much about it. I'll be honest. So yeah, just tell us what it is, what drove you towards it, and leaving a job. We will move towards that with this, I guess. Yeah.
Right. So okay. So I think that if we cannot see, it is, even if we can see things, we don't perceive everything.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We do not understand.
Yeah.
So like I am seeing this scene is going on in front of me. You are sitting. I'm seeing it. I am comprehending it, and I'm making my decisions. Or I'm speaking. That okay, now he's asking this. What should I respond? How should I look? What should I wear? Things like that. So then, but even with this eyesight, in this world there are areas, there are places which are not reachable.
Correct. Okay.
Where a human eye cannot go and see that what is happening there. But then it is very important. So like I will give you an example. So I connected over this friend of mine. He is in UK, so he is doing his postdoc in robotics basically.
Okay.
So I was speaking to him, Ayan Mukherjee. He's in Manchester there.
Okay.
So he was telling me that he is developing a robot. So this is basically for a nuclear reactor.
Wow.
Okay,
Wow.
so inside nuclear reactor, just think, even if a screw or some very small thing goes wrong, a human cannot go inside nuclear reactor and fix it. How do you do that? You know, how do you make that decision? How you tell robot to fix that thing for you? So then they have cameras, and so it's basically the computer vision thing, which you can plot your cameras, you can see inside, you can direct the robot to do things for you. So it has always intrigued me. Like it has always intrigued me that.
Any specific reason or from childhood? Any specific moment that you remember?
I don't know. Like so how it happened for me. So when I was just to update myself, you just go and read a lot, right? On LinkedIn they share all these things. So there was this professor from Virginia Tech. So I was reading. I'm not getting his name right now. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
Yeah. So. I was reading about his research and what he's doing. So he was just one day he was just simply roaming in a museum in Virginia, like in Washington DC basically. So then, so there were photos from World War II were there. All the soldiers were there in that museum. He was looking, and he suddenly saw at a picture, and he felt that it looks similar. It looks he recognized it looks familiar to him.
Okay.
Then he took a picture from his phone and went back to his family album.
Okay.
It was his great granddad, which he did not know.
Wow.
So he got so intrigued. He felt that it is such a lovely experience to know that your granddad, great granddad, participated in such a thing which you don't even know. So then he realized there is a problem. Like in World War II, so many people died that their family doesn't even know about. But we have like at Washington, we have this the full database of all soldiers with photographs. They have been taken at war or some other places.
Okay.
So he started doing his research. So he did his research on this thing. So he has come up with a tool, basically. So you can actually upload the photo of your great granddads, and that tool will match the picture.
If it is.
And it will analyze and tell you if that person was part of World War II or not. And they will tell you the whole history of basically of that person. So when I read that, I felt that it is not just about earning, it is not just about working at a good company. It is much beyond that.
We have a bigger
dream, yeah. So like I also feel that if I could do something, so like after my parents, what happens when we get old? We lose our eyesight, it becomes weak.
Yes.
So that is one of my motivation. If I can do something which I can help elderly people, so that with enhancing the computer vision and giving elderly people, I don't know, an aid or something which helps them. Because I remember my granddad, he was an avid reader. He was 87 years old, He lost his one eye and he got that motiabind, sorry,
I know.
you know.
Yeah.
So he lost his one eye, he couldn't see from one eye.
I think it's called cataract. if I'm-
Cataract, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am very bad at names, things, remember.
Oh,
So he used to take a magnifying glass.
Okay.
Every morning he used to get up with his tea. He used to read newspaper with his one eye which is left and read at the age of 87 years old. He passed away a few years back, but even before his last day, 2 days before, he was reading. He used to read shloks and all those things.
Okay.
So if I could have done something for him which have made his reading much easier, so that is, yeah, so I want to do something. So that's my motivation.
Wow. I mean, I hope you do something. I mean, really, yeah, it's a big. It'll actually help millions, and I mean, it's far beyond that money and something. It's like the bigger purpose in life. Wow. Okay, that actually got a bit serious.
Yeah.
I'm having goosebumps.
Yeah, I think that's because of the cold.
No. Vision is like that is the experience speaking out. I mean,
yeah. This is the reason, guys, which pulled me out from a very comfortable job, from a very comfortable house. I had a place of my own, set it up and everything. I was living very nicely, getting paid nicely, living a very good life in UK. But that is something which just stirred me up. I left everything. I left my job. People were like, "What are you doing?" But
one passion.
But yeah, it did not stop me. And I
were you
hope
scared? Were you scared by any chance?
I was hell scared. I was hell scared, to be honest, because I left studies like 9 years back.
Yeah,
it's a huge difference. I was scared for so many things because I did not see anyone taking this decision or doing this. I did not find anyone who is doing it so I spoke to my seniors, I spoke to my leaders, my managers, my mentors. So some of them were like really happy about. They are like, okay, it's such a bold decision. You have courage and stuff. But there were like people who were saying that, why are you going? You don't need university education. You can just change your job. But I just was very clear that nothing else is looking as interesting as coming here for a master's and pursuing my dream. So I just left everything and then came here. Just packed everything into a bag when I'm here with whatever is.
What was your family reaction when you told them that, okay, now I want to go back to study? Something that there might be a discussion.
Yeah, of course. So
what was it like?
So I thought that. So actually, what happened? I gave GRE. I did not tell my parents. I gave TOEFL. I did not tell my parents because I was not sure that am I gonna get into some good college? Am I gonna really go? So I did not want to stir them up. Like Indian parents, they all want us to settle down. So I just definitely wanted it to be really sure about my decision. So I did not tell them. But then when I started getting admits from all the colleges I applied, I was like, okay, so I am going. I have to tell
Once
them.
again, you told them after all the admits?
Yes.
Not even during the process?
No.
Wow.
Because I was in such a, at such a point where I was still, figuring out, evaluating all my options because I have 9 years of experience. I am at a good place. And people want me in that team. They are ready to give me promotions, and I can see a future there. I can see a good future there.
Yeah.
So then, why do you want to leave it all? You should have a very strong reason to leave all that behind and come here as a student.
Yeah.
So I literally walked back 10 years back when I graduated. When I completed my undergraduate, and I'm living a life of a student, sharing a room with other 3 people, or doing all those things. So
I really skipped it. What was your parents' reaction?
So I thought that they might not be happy because they will be like, okay, now you should get married and stuff like that. So I called my dad. I did a video call, I called my dad. I told him that, Dad, I have applied for so and so universities and I have got admitted in all of them, and I think I'm gonna go. Do you think you will be fine with it? Because I understand. I told them, I was like really frank about it. I was like, okay, this is one thing which is going on, but then I want your approval. And then, because I don't want to be in USA and you are not sleeping in India, having sleepless nights that, okay, oh, my child is not married, she's not settled like that. You will not believe, he was so damn happy with it.
Wow.
He was very happy. He was literally happy. He has been telling it to everyone he meets, and that was a very different reaction because I was not expecting that because, come on, it's Indian parents, you don't expect such
Yeah.
behavior, so, such reaction, and they were damn happy with that. And he was just like, okay, now we have to figure out the finances, you are going, the education and blah blah. So, but I know that it is not the case with each and every one of us. Yeah.
So yeah, what would you like to advise if like somebody is stuck in the situation? I know many of them are stuck, they're confused.
Yeah.
First of all, they are not even sure from within. Like you had a great passion, a firm determination. So I think we have to find that, if I'm not wrong, first of all.
Yes, guys. So prioritize things. Just don't do something because everybody is doing it, or just don't do things because like, even if you're doing it for a change, that is fine. That's a good enough reason to do it. I'm saying you don't have to have that determination. It just doesn't come.
Okay.
Few things. So like they say, success is not a spot or it's not a place where you go. Success is all about the journey you go through. So I will not say that, okay, one day I got up and all this thing happened in a day. It took its own course of time. It happened over time. Things do fall into place. You see it happening. Like I'm speaking to you right now, but
Yeah.
I told you everything is like 5-10 minutes, but this happened over 6 months or 7 months or 8 months for me.
Long journey.
It is a journey.
Wow.
So have patience, believe in yourself. First thing, prioritize. That's my advice.
And once you are determined, I am pretty sure, like,
Yes.
someone told me this, I'm not remembering who. They're like Indian, let's call not an Indian, but their parents are a bit
Yeah.
worried about us
Yeah.
because they want to see us successful and happy. Happy is the correct word.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you are confident and you are sure that okay, you want to take this next step and go for the higher education, and you will be happy and you can manage.
Yeah.
Definitely. First thing is managing away. We are actually living the country entirely, not even a state. So if you are strongly confident, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to convince your parents,
Definitely.
and they will be more than happy, right?
Yeah, yes.
It's the proudest moment
because
that.
even now, you know what, when someday I do study well or I get a good mark in my quiz, okay, and I call my parents and then I'll be just so happy talking.
Mhm.
So they will know that, okay, what happened? You got some good marks in the quiz or something like that. I was like, yeah, dad, okay. He was like, okay, great, so they are happy, they are enjoying it with me. And so it's a very good thing.
So having a strong belief is the first step.
Yes.
I guess. Yeah.
And have patience.
Life will happen.
Yeah,
Things will happen.
yeah, exactly.
Things will happen and fall in place.
Definitely.
I think this is the one thing which last year have taught everyone.
Oh yes, definitely.
Life happens and things will
Yeah,
fall.
nothing stops nothing.
Nothing
but
stops
yeah,
nothing.
we all are here.
Now tell me this, after like you said, right, you're coming back to
Yeah.
student life. Any change or how do I put it? I found it a bit of a difference that getting my
Yes,
mindset going back
definitely.
to
Not getting salary every first week,
29th,
Not shopping that much, yeah.
29th and 30th of every month, like
Yeah.
no money. Shit.
No, yeah.
Oh, that is there. That is for sure there. So I was trying to ask that, how are you finding it? Because you came from an independent life.
Yes. Yeah.
Again, coming back to sharing things with people,
Yeah.
going back to that, as you said, student life.
Yeah.
So how was it mentally different, psychologically? And second, did you find anything different or a bit shocked? Third, do you regret anything in this entire life, in the entire path? Regret anything? As in, if this would have happened, it would have been a better life journey. Something like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So many questions.
Many questions, yeah.
So first thing first. So yes, definitely it was a transition, having an independent life to coming to a 2-bed 2 bath, sharing with the other 3 or 4 maybe other people.
Mhm.
Definitely. So you have to do some adjustments, but just keep an open mind. Everybody has got some flaws. You have got flaws. No one is perfect. So just ignore. If it's not important, just leave it. Because if it is not going to matter after 2 years, don't bother. Leave it. First thing. So that helps a lot.
I think an open mindset, yeah.
Yeah, keep an open mind. And give people some, give people some, be relaxed with people. If they are making mistake, it's not like the end of the world. Anyway, yeah, that's one thing.
True.
Yeah. Second thing, definitely, then again, we all miss our salaries now, and we have taken loans and burdened with all those things. But I think it's no. I do not regret anything. That's why I'm here, because I do not want to regret anything. If I would have not come here, if I would have stayed back because of some reason, I would have regretted. I'm thrilled. I am enjoying each and every day, even if I'm slammed with assignments and quiz, and I complain about those things to my friends. But it's lovely. It's a dream come true.
She has a lot of positivity, and trust me, that is needed.
Yeah.
Having this kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
definitely. And the best part is having such people around you also makes you excited about life. And that's it.
Yeah.
I think we have covered most of the stuff.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any last word of wisdom for anybody watching? Have they got admit, or they are looking for applying to USC specifically, or masters? Anything? Any last parting words of the last 3 long videos the journey has about
Yeah. So.
to end? Yeah.
Right, yeah. I will repeat my words. Like, have patience, believe in yourself, and just do it. Just do it.
Just take a leap of faith. And
Yeah, just jump with whatever you have got. You will survive. You will be good.
if people have survived, then you are nothing. You
Yes.
will do it.
You will do it. It definitely, yes. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome way.
Yeah.
Then last, as in the fight on symbol.
Fight on. Yeah.
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Chalo.
Let's roll.
दोनों की बाल
मेरा तो ये टॉपिक से भग रहा है. Yeah.
हमने सब कुछ फर्स्ट टेक में किया, राइट?
I'm so natural at it. Solid.
बहुत अच्छा. Dude, thank you so much.
You are most welcome. No problem.